Good morning and welcome to Fox 29's News Now on this Monday morning. We're going to get started with some local news for you. Multiple people were shot overnight in southwest Philadelphia. A 21-year-old man was killed and 5 other people were injured. Fox 29's Lauren Johnson filed this report.
So on social media, he's being called Bankroll Gambino. That's that victim who died after yesterday's shooting. And this morning, police here at police headquarters trying to piece together exactly what happened shortly after 8:15 yesterday. Not sure what went wrong, but we do know bullets started to fly, and now that man is dead. The scene played out on the 2600 block of Carroll Street. Police telling us all 6 of those victims are under the age of 25. One of the men did not survive after being shot in the head. Medics say he died right there on the scene. Another of the 5 men, a 23-year-old, also shot in the head. The remaining victims were shot in various parts of their bodies, all of them taken to Penn Presbyterian Hospital. Witnesses still stunned, almost into silence by this violence.
It was a warm day. It was the kids playing up and down the street, and I guess all of the guys, they were friends, so they just were hanging around each other. I've never seen nothing like that happen in my life. I still feel a little shooken up, especially that's somebody's loved one. And it was kids running on the block, so you just decided to just go and shoot no matter who was there.
As you heard that witness recall, there were kids running around the neighborhood at the same time the bullets started to fly. Last night's violence brought the commissioner from his home to that scene, talking to reporters about the city's latest homicide. And this morning, he says his officers will canvass that neighborhood, look for cameras, and try to talk to more witnesses to find out exactly why this happened.
And more in local news this weekend. In Montgomery County, a 16-year-old boy is now $3 million richer after being named the best Fortnite player in the world. Fox 29's Bill Anderson filed this report.
Okay, so my whole outlook on video games has changed. It used to be a situation where your parents would tell you, don't stay inside playing all day, you'll never amount to anything. Not the case, as a local team from Pottsgrove has proven that you can make millions of dollars playing those same video games.
This cup is yours one more time. Your world champion, Booga!
His screen name, as you just heard, Booga. He's 16 years old. His real name is Kyle Giersdorf. And yesterday, as these Twitter and YouTube videos show, he won the Fortnite Solo Player World Championship in New York, and with that, $3 million. Now, the 16-year-old beat out competitors from all over the world, many twice his age. Just to qualify for the World Championship, Booga was top 100 out of 40 million competitors. Now, he says that he played for 8 to 10 hours per day, which probably sounds excessive to a lot of us, but not so much when you win.
Words can't even explain it right now. I'm just so happy. Everything I've done, the grind, it's all paid off, and it's just insane.
So the last game I noticed you changed it up a little bit. You decided to change the drop spot. At what point in that game did you know that you locked it up?
Well, pretty much. I got to center zone after getting like a llama, so it was pretty much just sealed from there.
Continuing our Fortnite translator, if you pick a good drop zone, that determines what's around you when you start playing. Lots of supplies or a gun battle. He apparently picked a good one. And a loot llama is actually a llama piñata that's filled with supplies. He knew he was winning when he actually found the llama piñata. So will this big win for a teen change parents' views on video game playing? From our Twitter poll, you look at some of the results that we're getting, some of the feedback from 76ers Process. He tweets that $3 million is just the start. This kid's going to make $1 million more in advertising and streaming. So if he's smart, he's set for life. But even with that, if you look at our final results, parents just aren't buying it. The overwhelming majority say that they're okay with video games in moderation, but not the 8 to 10 hours that it takes to become a video superstar. So who knows? This person has now become a millionaire, but will it change the mindset of other parents? So although the poll says that this is not necessarily changing mindsets, it remains to be seen. As more parents see that their kids could become millionaires just playing video games, will they allow them those extra hours to practice. Here in Pottsgrove, I'm Bill Anderson, Fox 29 News.
And we are going to take you over to the White House now, where President Trump is expected to sign the 9/11 First Responders Compensation Bill, ensuring funds never run out for those who responded to the 9/11 terror attacks. Stay with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Please sit down. Very important day, and we're gathered this morning at the White House to honor our solemn duty to America's best, bravest, and finest, who I know so well. In a few moments, I will sign a bipartisan bill to fully reauthorize the 9/11 victims' compensation fund. So the 9/11 Victims' Compensation Fund is something you've all worked on very hard, and the day has come. Today, we come together as one nation to support our September 11th heroes, to care for their families, and to renew our eternal vow, never, ever forget. Before I go further this morning, we express our deepest sadness and sorrow for the families who lost a precious loved one in the horrific shooting last night in Gilroy, California. While families were spending time together at a local festival, a wicked murderer opened fire and killed 3 innocent citizens, including a young child. We grieve for their families, and we ask that God will comfort them with His overflowing mercy and grace. We're praying for those who are recovering right now in the hospital, some very, very serious injuries. We thank the brave members of law enforcement. They never let us down, who swiftly killed the shooter. We reaffirm our national will to answer violence with the courage, determination, and resolve of one American family. We will continue to work together as communities and as citizens to stop evil, prevent violence, and protect the safety of all Americans. We're joined for today's ceremony by our wonderful Vice President, Mike Pence. Thank you, Mike, very much. Thank you. Along with many distinguished guests, I want to begin by recognizing a leader many of you know very well. On September 11th, he declared the city of New York and the United States of America is much stronger than any group of barbaric terrorists. Our strength and our willingness to defend ourselves will ultimately prevail, and he was right. A great mayor of the city of New York, our greatest mayor, in my opinion. Now, what do I know? Rudy Giuliani. Stand up, Rudy. Great job, Rudy. Great job. Rudy's got a lot of guts. Thanks also to Deputy Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen for being here. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you very much. Along with Senator Deb Fischer and Representatives Michael Burgess, Chris Collins, Brian Fitzpatrick, Peter King, John Joyce, Mark Meadows, and Dan Muser. Please stand up, fellas, please. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Peter. In the wake of the September 11th attacks, courageous Americans raced into smoke, fire, and debris in Lower Manhattan, the Pentagon, and a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. The whole world witnessed the might and resilience of our nation in the extraordinary men and women of the New York Fire Department and the New York Police Department, selfless patriots of unmatched character and devotion. I grew up with them, so I can tell you that's absolutely true. It's always nice to really know your subject. I know that subject. These are great people. We also commemorate the heroes of the Port Authority Police, and I want to thank you all for being here. Tremendous people. The first responders from across the country rushed to New York and worked endless days and sleepless nights. They fought to rescue every person trapped in the rubble and then searched for months to find the remains of the fallen. The love and loyalty of our 9/11 responders knew no bounds. Today, we are deeply honored to be in the presence of more than 60 of these exceptional heroes. They answered terror with the emotional strength of true American warriors. Would every 9/11 responder please stand up, please? All you first responders, wow. Great. Thank you. Thank you, fellas. Great-looking group of people you are. Great-looking group of people. Thank you very much. You inspire all of humanity, and you know that. We're also greatly moved to have with us families of our fallen heroes. Our nation owes each of you a profound debt that no words or deeds will ever repay. But we can and we will keep our nation's promise to you. In a few moments, I will sign the 9/11 Victims Compensation Fund. This law makes permanent the financial support for families who lost precious loved ones as a result of September 11th attacks. It also provides pensions for those who are suffering from cancer and other illnesses stemming from the toxic debris they were exposed to in the aftermath of the attacks. Many of those affected were firefighters, police officers, and other first responders. And I was down there also, but I'm not considering myself a first responder. But I was down there. I spent a lot of time down there with you. Since September 11th, we have lost more than 2,000 first responders and survivors to 9/11-related cancers and illnesses. Currently, thousands of men and women are battling cancer and other illnesses due to 9/11. We pledge to stand by the families of those affected today and every day. We will stand with you. I want to thank lawmakers in both parties for working with common purpose to pass this vital and critical legislation. Here with us for this signing ceremony are the three families whose loved ones are memorialized in the title of this bill. New York Police Department Detective James Zadroga spent more than 450 hours serving at Ground Zero. In 2006, James died from a lung disease. To his father, Joseph, and his daughter, Tyler Ann, who join us, Detective Zadroga's heroism will uplift our nation forever. It won't be forgotten. We will always remember what he did for us. Please stand up, please. Please, thank you. Thank you very much. Also present today is the family of East Meadow volunteer firefighter Ray Pfeiffer. I know East Meadow very well. Great place, great people. For 8 months, Ray worked constantly at Ground Zero. In 2017, at the age of 59, he died from cancer. Here with us today is Ray's wife, Karen, his daughter, Taylor, and his son, Terrence, now a New York City firefighter. Please stand up. Good. Very good. Thank you. And I know Ray must be watching over you, looking down right now from heaven on this beautiful rose garden. Very, very proud of you. Thank you. Thank you very much. The third namesake of the bill is New York City Detective Luis Alvarez. Last month, his powerful testimony in Congress touched the heart of our nation. A few days later, he passed from this life into eternity. We are privileged to have with us Detective Alvarez's brother, Philip, and his wife, Aileen, and his sons, Tyler and Ben. Please stand. Please. Please, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I want each of you to know that America is holding you in the arms of its wonderful, wonderful heart. And we're all grieving by your side. Our whole nation prays and pays tribute to the incredible life and legacy of Detective Alvarez, how hard he worked and how much he suffered. And we really want to thank him. He was really something. People understood it very well. It's really great. Thank you. We have an obligation, and it's a sacred obligation to the families and first responders of 9/11. Here with us today is Chief John Joyce, former fire chief of the Midtown Manhattan Firehouse. On September 11th, 15 of his men raced into the ashes of hell and gave their lives. To this day, Chief Joyce still mentors many of their 28 children. Chief Joyce spent 7 months working at Ground Zero. In 2011, he was diagnosed with cancer. He has also endured other severe 9/11 related illnesses, but the chief is a fighter. He is definitely a fighter. As he says, because of this bill, he does not have to fear for the families of his firehouse whose loved ones made the ultimate sacrifice. Chief Joyce, you have our everlasting gratitude. Please, Chief. Thank you. Good. Thank you, Chief. Thank you for being here. And say hello to everybody. To every 9/11 hero, you poured out your heart, your sweat, your soul, and everything you had for your country. You ran toward the wreckage into a ball of flames like, frankly, nobody in this country had ever seen. You searched for survivors. You went back day after day and night after night to save lives and return the fallen to their families, to rebuild and recover, and to show the entire world that nothing will ever break America's spirit. Over the last 2 decades, you have endured hardship with amazing grace and incredible grit. Through it all, you care, and you work, and you love, and you will always remember all of those great families. You lift up our communities, and you remind us all what it means to stand united as one nation under God. For your entire lives, you have gone far beyond your duty to us, and today we strive to fulfill our sacred duty to you. We love you, we honor you, and we thank you. God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you. Now I'm going to sign this bill into law, and I don't know if the stage will hold it, but if it doesn't, we're not falling very far. But I'd like to ask the families, and I'd also like to ask the first responders to come up, and we'll give this stage a shot. Let's see how well built, made in America. Let's see how well built it is. Okay, come on up. Thank you very much. Watch out for camera.
Get you up there as best I can.
Down, 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 down. A little awareness. Easy there.
Turn everywhere.
Okay. All right, just Eric, I'll be on. You sound like it's on. This looks good. Vicky, well, Neil should be able to make 10:40 on he leaves now. They don't have. What are they doing? She didn't. It's the plan to hold it into a string. Oh, it's just oh.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, just grab those for me.
Are we good here?
And sticking with politics this morning, the second set of summer Democratic presidential debates will feature a rematch this week with a twist, plus the first showdown of leading progressives as the party wrestles with its philosophical identity and looks ahead to a 2020 fight against President Donald Trump. Fox's Doug Luzader has more this morning from Washington.
$1 million. President Trump and the Democrats who hope to replace him have their sights set on the Midwest this week.
So the president is heading to Ohio, and Democrats are going to gather in Michigan for the second Democratic debate.
Yeah, Doug, what's up?
Good morning. Well, and the president on Twitter this morning is once again going after a Maryland congressman.
The presidential motorcade arrived back at the White House yesterday after what appeared to be a golf outing, all with a Twitter feud in play between the president and Maryland Congressman Elijah Cummings, who has criticized the administration's border policies. The president called the Baltimore area district Cummings represents a dangerous and filthy place.
And I think the president is right to raise that. It has absolutely zero to do with race.
Donald Trump, once again, is a racist who makes ever more outrageous racist remarks.
Some of the Democrats hoping to take on the president next year were quick to weigh in. But as they gear up for this week's massive two-night Democratic debate in Detroit, they are facing their own race issues.
We'll see.
The frontrunner Joe Biden may come out swinging. His support among black voters could ultimately carry him across the finish line, but he will be on stage right between Kamala Harris and Cory Booker, both of whom have attacked him on school desegregation and busing, something that seemed to catch him off guard in the last debate.
Well, he has to be careful with swinging. He will come out better prepared, I would expect, and if he doesn't, then I think there needs to be some questions about his viability going forward.
And while Democrats focus on Michigan this week because of that big debate, that big two-night debate, the president has his eyes on Ohio, where he's having a campaign rally this week. Mike
Gotcha.
Alex.
All right, Doug, thank you. We'll see you.
And in consumer news this morning, summer isn't over, but parents are already in back-to-school mode. And Baskin-Robbins has a new treat that expands its already existing customer base. Fox Business Network's Tracy Carrasco has more from this morning's Business Outlook.
Stocks skyrocketing into the weekend after a surprisingly positive economic growth report, sending the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ to record highs. Back to school season is just around the corner, and many Americans are already feeling the stress. Bankrate.com finding 4 in 10 parents say they feel pressure to overspend when it comes to stocking up on their kids' school supplies. Millennial moms and dads claiming to feel more worry than their parents felt when it came to hitting up the stores. The National Retail Federation estimating this year will be the most expensive school shopping season ever. And Baskin-Robbins announcing something new to help you beat the heat. The ice cream company is launching 2 vegan flavors starting on August 1st. The company says these non-dairy treats took more than 2 years to perfect. They're crafted from ingredients like coconut oil and almond butter and come in 2 flavors, chocolate chip cookie dough and chocolate extreme. For more, log on to foxbusiness.com. In New York, I'm Tracy Carrasco.
And moving on to your Fox 29 Weather Authority. The Philadelphia area is slated for a hot, hazy, and humid Monday to kick off the week. An air quality alert is in effect through midnight tonight, which means that air pollution concentrations within our region may become unhealthy for sensitive groups, including children, people who have asthma or heart disease, and the elderly. Mostly sunny skies are expected today during the daytime, ahead of clear skies this evening. And precipitation is expected to return to our forecast by Wednesday, unfortunately, with some afternoon thunderstorms. Here we have a current look at temperatures in our area. A mild 72 degrees up in Mount Pocono, and for the large majority of the region, we're already looking at mid-80s, 84 degrees up in Allentown, Reading, and Lancaster, and around the same right here in Philadelphia. Over in Toms River, it's already nearly 90 degrees and just slightly cooler down the shore in Wildwood, New Jersey. Looking ahead to our 7-day forecast, again, we are in the middle of another summer heat wave. This makes number 4 for the season. And the hot and humid weather continues into Tuesday before we get slight relief Wednesday into Thursday with some rain and thunderstorms. Hopefully nothing that'll keep the Phillies away as they come back home to Citizens Bank Park. And don't forget to download the latest version of the Fox 29 Weather Authority app to have the latest forecast right now. And moving on to national news this morning, we're following breaking news out of California, where a gunman opened fire at a popular garlic festival, killing at least 3 people and injuring 15 more. Shots rang out around 5:40 yesterday evening, sending people running for their lives. Officers responded in less than a minute and shot and killed the suspect. Police and witnesses say the gunman used a rifle and appeared to be shooting at random. It was the final day of the 3-day festival, which draws thousands of people.
This is one of those press conferences you never want to have to give in your community. And it's sort of a nightmare that you hope you never have to live in reality, but unfortunately we find ourselves in this circumstances where we have to live this today.
Police say security at the festival was right, but the suspect was able to get in by cutting through a fence. There are reports of a possible second suspect. Right now, the FBI is on the scene investigating. And here at home, a 26-year-old man is in the hospital this morning after being stabbed in the neck in West Philadelphia. The incident occurred on the 5300 block of Chestnut Street around 11:30 last night. Police say the man was awake and FaceTiming when medics arrived. He remains in critical condition. He was listed in critical condition last night, but has since been upgraded to stable condition. Police are searching for surveillance video in an attempt to find a suspect. And in Lehigh County this weekend, a 10-year-old boy is recovering after being struck by a stray bullet while playing baseball. It happened around 6:30 Saturday evening at the Coca-Cola Park in Allentown. Police say the 10-year-old was standing in right field during a break when a bullet hit him in the knee. Officials believe someone near the stadium shot a gun into the air.
As far as, just shooting guns up in the air, I don't think it's safe at all.
I feel bad for the kid. I hope he's doing okay. That's just a crazy occurrence. I don't know how somebody could do that.
Police say the investigation is ongoing. Also in local news this weekend, friends and family gathered in Oxford Circle in memory of Kelvin Williams, who was killed in a motorcycle crash over the weekend. Friends and family gathered yesterday on Roosevelt Boulevard and Large Street. That's where 35-year-old Williams struck a car that was crossing lanes and lost control of his motorcycle on Friday night. Williams slammed into a light pole and was thrown from his bike. Williams' wife says she called her husband's cell phone when he was late picking her up from work, and a stranger answered and told her there had been an accident and that her husband didn't survive. The driver of the car left the scene before police arrived, but later turned herself in. And in Camden County, police need your help identifying 2 people who they say broke into a home, injured an 89-year-old woman, and stole her car. Officers were called to the 4100 block of Frost River Avenue in Pennsauken early Tuesday morning and heard the woman screaming. They say they found her on the floor and she was taken to the hospital for treatment. The victim's car has since been found, and police are warning, do not approach these suspects. Also in local news this morning, a Change.org petition has been set up demanding city leaders remove a billboard some say shames children who have diabetes. The billboard near the Walt Whitman Bridge shows a child eating a sweet snack and another person injecting themselves with insulin. It reads, "Today's after-school snack could be tomorrow's diabetes." Some believe that shames children with type 1 or juvenile diabetes, and the message is stirring up some mixed reaction.
Yeah, they should take it down.
You think so?
Yeah.
I would view such a billboard as being educational.
Philadelphia health officials say they apologize to anyone offended by the language on the billboards. They say the focus is on childhood obesity and its connection to sugary snacks. They're working to better address the confusion between type 1 and type 2 diabetes. And in Bucks County, some homeowners in Upper Makefield came back from vacation to a home that was ransacked. It happened sometime over the weekend on Beaumont Drive while the owners were away. Police say the burglars got away with jewelry. Anyone with information is urged to contact police. You've probably heard of the Coachella Music Festival in California, but in Philadelphia's Bustleton neighborhood, they held a Puffchella. Yesterday, a pet-friendly outdoor music festival was held at Fiddler's Green Tavern on Bustleton Ave. Proceeds from the festival went to Wet Nose Dog Rescue.
We decided to do a dog-friendly concert here in our parking lot so that we can raise money for the rescue, and also they're going to share with other rescues. Half of the ticket price goes to them, and 25% of the shirts proceeds are going to Wet Nose Dog Rescue.
Fiddler's Green Tavern is planning more events to benefit animal rescues in Philadelphia in the future. And on Good Day this morning, if you're a parent wondering how to set your child up for success when it comes to instilling confidence, you're not alone. This morning, the author of Reflections of Me joined Good Day to discuss.
August 8th. All right, 8:16.
There's a new report out that says cyberbullying is on the rise in America, particularly among girls.
That is the finding of a new study conducted by the National Center for Education Statistics.
Researchers say 3 times as many girls are being harassed online or by text message compared to boys. In fact, in 2016 and 2017, 21% of girls in middle and high school are reported being bullied online, compared to less than 7% of boys.
So what can we do about this? Joining us, the author of Reflections of Me, great book, Dr. Candace Robertson James.
Along with Erin Hardensburg, who's been the victim of cyberbullying and bullying in general, and she's very open about your stories. You want to help others who may be going through a similar thing.
First of all,
thank you.
Doctor, good to have you here,
Hi,
Erin.
thank you.
Tell us about where you grew up.
I grew up in King of Prussia, around Valley Forge.
Okay, high school?
Methacton High School.
Okay. You're 18 now?
Yeah, I just graduated.
Oh, congratulations.
Thanks.
Nicely done. The bullying, cyberbullying got pretty bad for you. How did it manifest itself? What were they saying to you?
A lot of comments about my height, my appearance, the way I interacted with people. I think people didn't realize that their jokes meant a lot more to me. I personalized things and internalized things a lot deeper than they realized.
Can you give me an example of what they would say? Because you're a lovely young woman.
Yeah, I'm really short, so I got a lot of height comments about my height. Oh, like you're really, how old are you? You're 12, things like that.
And you would take that to heart?
Yeah, I don't really have much, well, I didn't have a lot of self-esteem, so those comments would just kind of really manifest in my life and just make me feel worse.
And how did you deal with it then? How hard was that for you?
It was hard. I definitely didn't cope with it the best. I had an eating disorder, and I self-harmed because of it. And it was a really low point, but I'm grateful for it because now it made me who I am.
Did you ever think about taking your life?
Yeah, I actually tried to.
You did?
I had an attempt, yeah.
And how long ago was that?
2 years ago.
How have you turned your life around?
It's a lot harder than a lot of people think, a lot harder than I thought. A lot of therapy, a lot of support, and a lot of just work on myself.
Professional therapy?
Yeah.
Okay. Which is always a good idea, right, doctor?
Yes. Yeah.
If you can afford it and things like that.
Absolutely.
What do you think the uptick is about, and why girls over boys?
Well,
we're relational beings, and unfortunately, well, one positive aspect of social media is that it encourages our relationships with others and our constant contact with others. Unfortunately, that same tool can be used, you know, in bullying, and like was just said, those relationship tools, those constant comments, the constant exposure to, you know, hearing what people are thinking, hearing what people are saying, and then with the social media environment
you can get buried in those negative things that are being said, even though they're not true.
Because kids are checking their social media all the time, or they assume they're constantly
within
seeing
seconds,
it.
Hundreds of people know what has been said about you.
But why, like Mike mentioned, why the disparity between boys and girls? Like, it's so little, 7% for boys, compared to 21% for girls.
Is it because girls are nicer?
Well,
it means we're not. I guess they're not nicer.
Girls and boys use social media differently, actually. We're beginning to find out, and there's more studies looking at some of those gender differences between boys and girls. But some of the studies have really shown that they think that because of the relational nature of girls, that they're, you know, the things that we post are different compared to the things that boys post, and so.
Well, how do you see yourself now, Aaron? You're not this short little bit.
No, I'm confident in myself, which is surprising to say as of 2 years ago. But yeah, I'm happy with who I am, and
isn't that what it is, though? How you see yourself, not how others see you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, your self-image is really important, because now that I'm confident in myself, like, people can say what they want, and it won't affect me the same way.
So for parents, if they're watching this, like, wow, I want to make sure that my child's going to be okay through this, what do you recommend, doctor, that they say to their kids? And what kind of questions do you ask to make sure that they're in a good place?
Absolutely. That was really one of the motivations of this book, was really to encourage a positive self-concept. And there's actually tools and self-prompts for parents to have these conversations with their children, to be able to ask them, you know, what are you thinking about? Who's saying things? Who are you comparing yourself to? And the tools to be able to kind of have parents have those conversations with their children.
Problems right there is comparing yourself to other kids.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Your age. Did you think everybody had it better than you, that kind of thing?
Yeah, or just like they looked better, they acted different. A lot of like questioning, why are they like that, and why am I not?
You have value.
Yeah.
You understand that now.
Yeah.
You're a superhero.
Yes, basically.
You are. And these are important elements in the book.
Absolutely. I wanted girls to really embrace the fact that they are superheroes, and the talents and strengths that they have can be seen as heroic powers, and that they can make a difference through them.
Thank you for the book.
Thank you.
Thank you. Where can people, Amazon, or where's it
Amazon and Barnes & Nobles, you can get it, and you can just search Reflections of Me and my name, Candace, because there are a few different titles of Reflections of Me.
I got you. Thank you both.
Yeah.
And to add to that, if you or someone you know is considering suicide, there are resources to help, including a 24-hour lifeline provided by the National Society for the Prevention of Suicide. And you can check out the fox29.com website for more. Also, on Good Day this morning, if you're a fan of classic cars, this story is for you. The Fox 29's Richard Curtis spent the morning at the Simeone Foundation Automotive Museum in Southwest Philly to see some sweet wheels.
This is really neat. Richard Curtis has been spending the morning over at the Simeone Foundation Automotive Museum in Southwest Philly.
Here's the thing. It's home to the world's top classic car collection, but the great thing is you can look at the cars, but you can also see them on the roads.
Are we rolling right now?
Oh yeah, guys, we're pretty much rolling. This car's about to get started. I'm going to tell you right now, the #1 car collector in the world. How does it feel to get crowned that?
I love it. It's the dream of collecting for about 50 years.
So where are we in right now?
We're in a Jaguar, 1953 C-type Jaguar, of the type that won Le Mans a couple times.
And why is this car so important?
Because Jaguar finally made themselves a racing mark, a racing legend by this particular car, and then the D-type that followed.
All right, so you used to love this thing, you drive it. We're about to fire this up. What do you say we get this engine going here?
I think we should do it.
All right, now look, guys, how cool is this? Listen to this thing go. All right, tag team, you guys ready? Get this. These guys are here doing a summer camp. Is this the best summer camp of all time?
Yeah, it's tons of fun. We come to get as much knowledge and wisdom as we can from the pros, and you know, we gotta make a statement for our generation as far as racing and engineering.
And look, and that's what we're doing. Are you gonna become a race car driver?
Yeah, I'm looking into it now. Yeah.
All right, so Philly, come on, man. It's summer camp. You ready to do this?
Here we go.
Come on, here. Let's see this puppy go. I love it. Ooh. See, I would have stalled out already by now. You're doing so much better than me. So how fast are we going top speed when this thing goes?
140 or so.
Do you ever get on 95 and make that happen?
Yes. Not 140, but pretty fast.
Maybe not 76, it's back to back. So let's say something breaks on this. Can you go to like a auto mall and just pick it up?
Yeah, sure. Certain parts of it, but most of it you have to make or collect in period.
This thing handles really well, right? And you got to bring a good friend here when you're driving because there's no radio in the car.
No, we don't have radios. They're way too much.
Right, and it's all about keeping it light. Right. Well, this car is pretty awesome. I got to tell you what, man. The entire city of Philadelphia is praising you right now. And you guys at home watching right now can come down here, ride in the cars on Saturdays. You guys do all the demonstrations. You got the summer camp now, and education is really where you're going next, right?
100%.
So let's get you guys at home out here because this is incredible. I don't know if I'll ever be in a car like this again, but I'll tell you, it's pretty darn fun. Hey, congratulations to the best in the world. What do you say?
Look at that.
Thank you, guys.
Let's
Thank
go.
you all.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
By the way, there's no seatbelts in these things.
Oh!
No, it's before
Well, how
seatbelts.
fast are you going? It looks like they're going pretty fast.
175.
It's a nice ride.
Looks like Bond, James Bond.
Yes. 007.
And that is going to do it for us today at Fox 29's News Now. Be sure to catch us again tomorrow at the same time, same place, 10 a.m. And follow Fox 29 at fox29.com as well as our mobile app and across social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And thank you for joining us this morning.